All of Wall Street didn't just accidentally land on the same indicator. They tested everything and they kept on coming back to the same one, the MACD. And most retail traders are using it completely wrong. So there's a reason the biggest money in the world trust this tool above everything else. And once you guys understand why, you're never going to look at a chart the same way again. So today I'm going to be breaking down why Wall Street loves this indicator so much. And then I'm going to be giving you guys step-by-step tips to help you guys learn how to use it while swing trading and day trading. Now, before we get started, if you guys could give this video a like and give it a hype if you guys are on mobile, it would be the best thing possible for the channel. Let's get started. It's very important to understand that institutions do not use tools out of habit. They use what works, and they know it works because they've been back testing and testing this sucker for years and decades. One of the reasons they like it so much is the MACD does certain things that most indicators can't. It measures both momentum and the trend direction at the same time. That's going to give you guys two confirmations in one signal, and that's why it survived decades of back testing at the highest levels. You guys know that Wall Street has some money, and on top of that, they have quantum technology now, they have AI technology, and because of that, they've been able to run multiple tests across a lot of stocks and cryptocurrencies and forex pairs to give us a good idea of how great that MACD is, and it's still their number one favorite. Most people use the MACD, but they don't really understand what the MACD is actually trying to tell you. Most people, and I mean most people, they're going to be watching for the simple crossover then calling it a day. And that is the most basic read, and that's what everybody is taught when they start learning how to invest, day trade, and swing trade. And that's the one that most traders get faked out on because they're only focusing on that single crossover. What Wall Street is actually watching for is the histogram and hidden divergences. So what the histogram is showing you guys is when momentum is building or dying, and that happens well before the crossover even happens. And that's the early warning system that most traders don't even understand that exists. If you look at something like Bitcoin over the last few cycles, every time the MACD goes from darker red to light red, that is about 80% to 90% the bottom of the market. So if you buy there, then you wait for the cycle high, you are making more profit than the rest of the market. And it's an important pattern to learn because most people wait for the crossover, but by then, instead of buying Bitcoin at 22,000, you're buying Bitcoin at 55,000. Now, Bitcoin will eventually hit 126,000, 500,000, whatever, but wouldn't it have been so much better to buy Bitcoin around $22,000? I think so. And that's why most of you guys need to understand that the histogram is key to understanding what the actual MACD is trying to tell you. Now, when it comes to hidden divergence, everything changes. Most people know about regular divergence when the price makes a new high, but the MACD doesn't follow, and therefore you could be looking at a trend reversal. However, when it comes to the hidden divergence, it's exactly the opposite. And it's what institutional traders are actually hunting for these days. When you have a bullish hidden divergence, you guys know that the price makes a higher low. However, the MACD is going to be making a lower low, and that is going to be the first part of your hidden divergence. That means momentum is stronger than the price action is showing. So you could think about it saying, hey, we've had a price come down. The MACD is not doing as bad. Therefore, the trend could be getting ready to continue. And most retail traders just got shaken out of a winning position. It's a pullback, hidden divergence. You want to buy that pullback, even if the MACD is bearish, with that hidden divergence, and then the trend continues. That way you're not getting shaken out when smart money is dumping positions because they've hit a massive level of resistance and new smart money is flooding into the system. People often think of the markets going up for a long time, then down for a long time. They usually go up, slight down, up, slight down, and within those slight downs, you see hidden divergence, and I'll show that to you guys in just a few seconds. However, for the bearish hidden divergence, the price is going to be making a lower high, but the MACD is making a higher high. That momentum is weaker than the chart looks, and that means the move is running out of fuel, so you better get out of it as fast as possible. Funny enough, hidden divergence doesn't actually show a signal of reversal. It's going to be confirming that the trend is still ready to go for another longer term move down the road. This is what a bullish hidden divergence looks like. What you're going to be looking for here is a price, this is Google, for example, doing a higher lows, but you're going to be looking for the MACD to have lower lows. And I'll put an infographic on the screen so you guys can see what I'm talking about here. But you guys can see low, higher low, but the MACD itself is making actual lower lows over here, lower lows. That means that although we're in an upward move, we are seeing something of a pullback. And on top of that, the trend should still continue to go. So what you're going to be looking for there is either one of three things. You can either wait for the histogram to turn green, which would indicate buying right here. You can wait for the crossover, which is the same thing as the histogram turning around. Or what you guys could look for is the following breakout after that move. Sometimes you may see these types of moves because they're happening at pullbacks. You actually end up buying them very close to levels of resistance. You could wait for the breakout, which happened 1-2 days afterwards, and then you get to absorb all of that profit. Either way is good, but I personally prefer to be looking for those breakouts because I know the momentum is there. I know everybody's happy. The breakout's already there, and I'm just going to ride that wave to the next large level of resistance, which in this case was up here. So if I were to zoom out a little bit, you can see at this time, Google was at all-time highs, but because I know how to get around this, I just add a Fibonacci extension level, and voila, I'll start looking for those next levels, which means I bought over here on the breakout. I could scale out here, or eventually up here. They all work, but if you're using options, of course, you're looking for the more recent ones. And if you're using just plain, you have tons of cash to buy a lot of Google, you can actually hope for the one line here, which is usually the best place to go. And of course, some of these other levels down the road. So when it comes to day trading, it becomes a little bit more difficult only for the pure fact that you're not going to actually see as many hidden divergences on your screens. So in this example here for the 15-minute Google chart, what you guys are seeing are a few different things. You see a higher low over here, but following that, you guys are going to see a low right there, right? Following that high, low, and then another lower low right here. So the trend has shifted right around here. So you have your first big low, your second big low, and what are you seeing? A higher low right here. Higher lows, lower lows, divergence is happening. So again, you have a few different opportunities to be buying this up. First, you could buy the breakout. That's the simplest way, and you can see how it went higher for a while, again, while day trading. The second way is buying at the histogram or crossover, which in this case was right here. You could buy right there and sell at that level of resistance if you wanted to, or you could try to trade a technical breakout of the histogram or the crossovers, if you will. So what you would do is you'd add a line from there, and then you would actually buy the breakout point, which in this case was right here. So you'd buy right there and ride the wave. All three give you opportunities to make money based off of what you're looking for. I prefer to not do the breakouts, but I know a lot of people do. What I do is I usually wait for the line crossover during a bearish divergence, or I'll look for the breakout right there. And then of course, what you guys are able to do is add your simple Fibonacci levels like before, and it will usually give you some good profits. In this case, we're buying after this level. So there we go. And you can see resistance, 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 and then eventually it does go higher and whatnot. But by then you guys are out of the trade just because from here, when you do the obvious buy to this level, that's only 1 day and 3 hours. Very short time frame. This one right here is only 4 hours. You can see how many you can find in a day, but instead of trying to find multiple ones on Google per day, look for one on Google, one on Apple, one on Microsoft, one on Tesla, and that's how you guys are going to be able to build success. Hey everyone, today's sponsor is WEEX, a global crypto trading exchange where you can trade hundreds of cryptocurrencies, use futures and spot markets, and even copy expert traders, all from one secure platform. If you want to check it out, the link is in the description below. Thanks. Today's sponsor is BYDFi, a global crypto trading platform where you can trade over 1,000 cryptocurrencies, futures, and use features like copy trading, all from one intuitive app. If you want to explore it for yourself, the link is down in the description. Thanks for watching, everyone.